What's up, Otaku fam? We are the Otaku Couple, back with more reactions here for the channel with more Gigguk. So we missed this one last week. We had already recorded ahead of everything. We did a bunch of Hellsing Ultimate Abridged last week, so we didn't get around to this one, but we're doing it this week. We have I've Found Everyone's Next Anime Crush.
Sure as hell isn't cigarettes.
It's really not. Don't smoke, guys.
It's bad for you. Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
It's gross.
It's not gonna make you anyone's.
Habit.
It's not gonna make you anyone's favorite waifu or husbando. Trust me. It's just not going to do it. Thank you guys for the continued support, though. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Every little bit helps. If you want to support our channel monetarily, we do have a Patreon to TV shows, animes, and movies completely uncut. Just started reacting to Romantic Killer and Castlevania over on the Patreon this week. Still reacting to Boruto. We're at season 5, so we are almost done with Boruto, which means that will be eventually switching with something else. So if any of that interests you among all of the other, there's over 1,500 episodes of anime over there. So there is a lot to watch over there if you're interested. You know, extra reaction content for you helps us focus on the content creation side of things. Every little bit helps. Let's hop on in.
Smoking in real life be like... Oh, smoking in manga. That's like...
You got cancer.
Slice of life.
You got
It's a genre that, hey, I'm talking here. It's a genre I've never been able to fully get into because, well, a lot of the times I find it boring. I can see its appeal, but way too often it's about shows or stories I have zero interest or relatability to. Because look, I'm a 32-year-old grown-ass adult. What the hell am I gonna have in common with watching the 100th show about some high school girl sitting in a classroom going, "Oh, Pizza Johnny looking super kawaii today." Marita-chan, you're the one who looks the most kawaii with the little hair and the little fringe. That's the guy. Ain't no sex shit to do. There is rarely anything in the...
I get it though, because that's how I feel about any of the slice of life anime we've reacted to over on our Patreon. Links down below in the description if you're interested. And that's really what it, like, all of them that take place like in a high school setting where it's really just about high school life. It's like I either look at it like, yeah, that wasn't fun when I had to go through it, or I look at it like, no one actually acts like that. And it just kind of breaks the immersion. So I understand completely. Garnt, we are in agreement.
This genre for me, so it came as a big surprise when I found Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, a manga that tackles something I can finally relate to, something that's not more cute anime girls, something I rarely get to see. Being a boring ass adult. This manga might have ignited a fire in me I had no idea could be ignited. It hit a spot I am now trying relentlessly to fill up, and if you're a boring ass adult like me, I think you might like it too. Oh, and there's a hot anime goth girl in it. Oh my god! But before that, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Raycon. Guys, as you might know, I've been traveling around a lot recently, and having multiple pair of...
It wasn't Baksu this time. It was Raycon. Be sure to check them out.
I need an extra special pair with me when I'm...
Anyways,
thank you to Raycon for sponsoring me.
Be sure to check it out.
That said, back to the video.
Sasaki
doesn't have a lot going on in his life. Working at a soul-sucking job for a company that barely treats him like a human being, he doesn't have a lot to look forward to in his day-to-day grind. That is, except for the cheerful smile of Yamada, the lovely clerk at the supermarket he visits after his shift that brings him just a small dose of joy in his otherwise tedious life. After one particularly grueling day, however, he pops in to find out that she's already ended her shift. So, to deal with the fact that today he doesn't get to see Yamada's joyful face, there's only one solution he can think of. Lung cancer.
How many cigarettes have you got on?
Unfortunately, in Japan, huffing copium in public has been made illegal.
Huffing copium in public.
So looking for a place to spark up a ciggy in private, he gets called over behind the supermarket by a mysterious girl who calls herself Tayama. Wow, what a unique name. I wonder where she got that from. Huh? She looks a little edgy, slick leather jacket, choker, boots, dark lipstick, but looks a little familiar, eh? I wonder what the old man thinks.
I've never met this man in my life.
She's noticed that he's always stopping at Yamada's cashier and teases him a bit. Yeah, she's a little cheeky, bit of a cheeky girl, probably eats a lot of Nando's, but finds out that Sasaki doesn't have any ulterior motives. He's just an older dude who appreciates Yamada's gleeful energy. They get talking and a small friendship starts to form. And so Sasaki finds a new cycle in his daily routine, as every time he visits the supermarket he shares a smoke break with this mysterious girl as they talk about stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's That's the manga. Yes, this is a manga about two adults who go behind the supermarket to share a smoke break together. Now, before I recommend this manga, as we all know, smoking is bad for your health. Here are just some of the negative effects of smoking. Increased risk of cancer, heart disease, lung disease, strokes, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, and everyone else on my Patreon for helping to support me for this month, and a shitload of other stuff that is just absolutely terrible for your health. Now, are there any positive effects of smoking?
No.
Getting the chance to vibe with the hot goth girl behind your local combini.
No, that is not. No. Don't do it.
God, you're leading
Just
the people
stop.
astray.
Stop
this.
Don't do it.
You have the power.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
You can,
If they make
you
you
can
feel
get
like
the
you
hot
need
goth
to-
girl behind the supermarket a different way. You don't have to
I was
give
gonna
in to
say, If they
smoking.
make you feel like you need to smoke with them.
I promise you, if you buy them a stuffed animal, you'll get just as much opportunity than not having to smoke any kind of cigarette.
That, or if they're just all about that peer pressure, fuck them.
Just give them the stuffed animal, trust me.
You don't need that kind of person for the peer pressure, though.
Just give them the stuffed
Give
animal.
the stuffed animal to a true goth.
Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You was one of the most popular and hyped up newly published series in Japan last year, and when I read the first chapter, I didn't understand why. 5 chapters later, I still didn't understand why. 26 chapters later, and I still didn't understand why, but where
Wait,
the hell
you
is
read-
the next chapter? Wait, this is a monthly release? I have to wait a bloody month now? Oh no. I like this manga. It's comforting.
I'm about to
It's
say.
relatable. It needs a shorter name because goddamn this is going to be tedious to pronounce, but most importantly, it is a vibe if you're over the age of 23 because most extraordinarily, it is a manga starring actual adults. No overly anime bullshit, no exaggerated personalities, just two fully grown adults chilling with each other talking about random shit. It's a story that perfectly portrays the vibe of the small intricacies and mundanity of adult life. And I know that sounds like a weird way to make a story sound appealing, but hear me out, okay? Alright, it's time for a patented Gigguk tangent, but stick with me, I swear I'm going somewhere with this. So back when I worked for the BBC... Get off me! I need people to know I work for the BBC!
I need
During the
people
days
to
when I worked for
know!
the United Kingdom Transmission Organization, I had my own little routine. There would be a single Tesco's Express on my way back, and every day I would go in and give myself a little treat. We all love to clown on British food, rightly so, but one thing I always happily defend is their crisps. It's pretty much the only time you'll find properly seasoned food in England, and to me, one stood above them all. Walker's Max Punchy Paprika. Ridge cut crisps with that perfect thickness to give it
What
that
is happening?
crunch and maximize the delicious smoky paprika flavor, all for the price of 75p. This was my little treat to signify the end of a hard day's work, so you'd understand my horror when one day I walked in and I found out that this particular branch of Tesco's had stopped selling Walker's Max crisps. What? Why? Why would they do this? What did they expect me to do? Settle for the inferior plain old Walker's crisps? Settle for a flavor that's not punchy paprika? Add 5 minutes on my daily walk home so I can see if Sainsbury's has it?
face.
No!
So, who else immediately thought, and if you're a weeb, you probably did, but who else immediately thought of the Jujutsu Kaisen Nanami's speech about what it means to be an adult? He said, no, being an adult is an accumulation of small grievances that give you, like, despair in your life. Going to your local store because they don't sell your favorite brand of whatever anymore. That's literally that right there. Little things that should not affect your day, but it devastates you. That is the sign that you are an adult.
Kickstarts.
They are running it. We don't see them anywhere near as much anymore. And I wonder if they're going out, like if they're just stopping.
Trolley sour eggs.
We find those more often in your
I know,
Kickstarts
but
now.
it still
Surprisingly.
makes me sad when I don't see them.
I wasn't gonna do that. I refused to do that. So like a true Brit, I masked my disappointment by filing a complaint in my mind, walking home dejected and crispless, and returned the next day to burn the entire store down. Now that may have sounded like a weird tangent, but that was a slice of my adult life. Sometimes the
Right.
smallest and most mundane things is the stuff that stands out the most in your day, and
Yes.
that's the vibe that is perfectly captured in Smokers Anonymous behind Tesco's Express. Sasaki doesn't come to the same cashier every day because he has a weird, creepy crush, but because seeing that joyful smile brightens his day just a little bit. She's no punchy paprika, but I get it. And Tayama serves as the emotional crux
But I
I wish
get
I
it.
had when I couldn't tell anybody about the atrocity Tesco's had committed on me that day. Sasaki finishes work one day after accidentally making a girl cry because he tried giving a team member encouraging words, but unintentionally came off as angry and aggressive. In England, we call that forgetting to end your business emails with kind regards and instead just saying, regards. He tells Tayama about it, and she gives him a sound pep talk about how shit like this doesn't matter in the long term. If you're a good person, that team member will eventually realize that in time. But if you're really worried about it, here's how to smile and not look like an angry psychopath. He starts to laugh, she gives him a bit of shit back. He starts to worry that he accidentally just made her angry then and there, and she's like, nah, don't overthink it, bro. And that's it. That's the chapter. There's just something satisfying about seeing people bonding and growing closer over the simplest conversations. Work life, dating, small, menial shit that happens in their day, just two adults being real with each other. And as someone who's introverted, these are the situations I love. Alright, fellow introverts, hear me out. Talking to strangers can be scary. Talking to people you don't know can be exhausting. But to me, it all becomes worth it in that moment when you find that one person you just instantly vibe with. It doesn't have to be about having the same common interests as them, or even having similar personalities. Something about that energy just clicks with you. For once, you don't feel like you're draining your social energy hanging out with someone. One 5-minute interaction accidentally turns into a 2-hour conversation as you lost track of time talking about shit you don't even remember talking about. And that's the beauty encapsulated in this manga. Sasaki and Tayama aren't necessarily similar. They aren't even that close to each other in age, but goddamn if there isn't something comforting about their chemistry together. You're just watching two adults vibing with each other, shooting the shit about stuff that doesn't really matter. And I didn't know I could get this invested in a story about two people just enjoying each other's company. As time goes on, we even see a slight romance subplot start to form. And we might want to keep this on the down low because I do have a bit of an age gap and we don't want to give Twitter something new to pretend to be mad about.
I want problems always.
The rest of
I want problems always.
From the start, Sasaki never came in with nefarious intentions, and the evolution of their relationship feels completely natural as they slowly start to emotionally rely on one another, give each other companionship, so any kind of developing feelings never takes priority over what they provide for each other and why they keep coming back. An honest to God, human connection. Alright, I would be lying though if I didn't say I wasn't just a little bit invested because Tayama is just
Perfect.
the leather jacket, the choker, the punk energy, adding just a tiny bit of Tsun energy. She gets a little cheeky, has a little devious side to her personality, but it's nothing but
Just a bit of banter.
Wait a minute. Another manga about a guy and a mischievous anime girl with a romantic tension? Wait a minute. This is just another teasing manga. Wait a minute. This is just Nagatoro for adults! The only travesty right now is that because this manga is still pretty new and it's on a monthly release schedule, I've not had nearly enough to satisfy my craving, which caused me to come to the realization when searching for similar stories is that, why is there not more shows like this? We have an avalanche of moe blob high school girls doing some mundane activity, and you know, I get it, it's cute, it's comfy, but whose slice of life is this? I like my cute anime girls, but I can't relate to this. What do you think I look like, a fucking Funko Pop? There must be some slice of life with adults out there. Oh, hell yeah. New game? A slice of life about working adults in the game development world. This is the adults? Sparking up a city next to the Lawsons hits a spot I didn't know I wanted it to
Sitting
hit. And if
next
that
to
sounds like your
Lawsons.
thing, please, dear God, just give it a read. Because not only do I want this to get more popular, but I want more stories like this. No high school anime bullshit, no after school club activities, no cute girls doing cute things. We have adult people doing adult things. Wait a minute. No cute anime girls? Just a bunch of adults talking about dumb bullshit that doesn't really matter? Why does this sound so familiar to me?
There it is.
Fuck.
Do you prefer boneless or bone-in cigarettes? Darn, fuck you.
Disgusting.
Oh, God. But that's what I was saying earlier, though. It's like a lot of those shows that we react to, it's like we can take a step back and we can look at it for what it's trying to portray and who the demographic it's supposed to be for. But we also have to point out that we, as adults in our 30s, do not agree with or comprehend at this point anymore, and it takes us out of it a little bit, and it just kind of has to. And luckily our community that subscribes to our Patreon does not bombard us with fucking comments of, you guys are just missing the point. It's like, no, because we talk about the point. I understand what it's telling me. I don't care about this point. There's a lot of shit that just doesn't make sense that's going on in here because I'm an adult who has empathy and has the brain power to work around this situation that these high schoolers apparently don't.
Yeah.
So I completely get it. But no, Garnt, I will not read this manga because if it's on a monthly release, I'm going to be like you and I'm going to want more and I'm going to have to wait a month. So no, I
was
refuse.
going to say, there wasn't really I'll be honest, it didn't like jump out at me.
It didn't
I
either
know.
to him either, but he was 26 chapters in and he was like, "Oh fuck, I like
Yeah.
it." So it's a sleeper hit. I'll definitely read it just to see how I feel about it. I'll at least give it the good old college try of like 10 chapters once it's done. Because in the off chance that I like it, I'm not going to go through this whole shtick of when I have to wait a month.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do I don't have that kind of time. I don't. If I can't sit down and binge it all in 2 days, I'm not doing it.
You do binge it.
Exactly. She knows. I'm a man of time.
You are. And logic.
Yes.
Logic is a big key factor right there.
It was a big deal for me to start reading Jujutsu Kaisen that wasn't finished yet. She knows. I waited so long. I was determined I'm not going to do it. And then I did it. And I got sad when I finished it and got caught up.
And whose fault was that?
Mine. I am the fool. Me. Well, Otaku fam, let us know if you've ever read this manga that was being talked about here, or if you would be interested in reading it. Let us know. I'm curious.
Tell us the premise of the story outside of that.
It's not. It's just two adults talking,
It just sounds boring.
right?
I get that enough.
Right.
I don't need to read a story about it.
Correct. But doesn't that make you even a little bit curious?
Not really, to be honest.
Well, it does for me, because now I just want to see what, like, it's the whole thing when he talked about all the animes. I don't remember which it was the spring season anime, whatever the one that the campfire anime was talking about. I was like, why? Who in the hell is going to watch that? And we got like 10 comments about like, no, it's actually a really good show. And I'm like, bullshit. There's an audience for it somewhere, and I'm curious enough to see if I get it.
Yeah.
It might not be for me, but if I can look at it and be like, I understand, that's all that matters.
Because logic is a big factor.
Thank you guys for the continued support. We will see you for the next video.
Bye.
Bye.